you ever feel like you are screaming underwater, but no one can hear you, not just once in a while, but every single day? That gnawing sensation in your chest that tightens like a fist around your heart. The one that makes you wonder if the universe has forgotten you completely. That isn't just sadness. That isn't just stress. That is your soul trying to break through a prison you didn't even know existed. This isn't some abstract metaphor. This is a biological reality. Your brain is being hijacked. Your spirit is being muted. And the world around you is moving on, totally unaware of the silent war being waged inside your mind. You know that feeling when you lie in bed at 3 a.m. staring at the ceiling, your mind replaying the same financial nightmare on loop. The overdraft fee stacking up like dominoes, the rent notice taped to your door with its little red stamp, the voice in your head whispering, just one more month, and I'll finally catch up. But you never do. Month after month after month, the hamster wheel spins faster, the weight on your chest grows heavier, and the universe feels more silent than ever before. This isn't just exhaustion. This is cellular decay. This is your nervous system unraveling at the seams. When you finally drag yourself out of bed, your body moves like lead, your mind feels like it's wrapped in cotton. And even the simplest task, making coffee, responding to a text, getting dressed, feels like climbing a mountain in a hurricane. I know how tired you feel, not the kind of tired from a long day's work. This is the kind of exhaustion that seeps into your bones, the kind that makes even prayer feel like shouting into a void. You've tried so hard, you've prayed louder, worked longer, sacrificed more, but the results never come. The universe isn't answering. And now you're left wondering, am I cursed? Have I done something wrong? Is abundance even real for people like me? Here's the soul-shattering truth. Nobody tells you this isn't your fault. It isn't bad karma. It isn't divine punishment. It is biological warfare against your own consciousness. The modern world has turned your brain into a battlefield, and the weapon being used against you is something called the slave wave. Every time you check your bank account and feel that icy panic every time you submit another job application and hear nothing back every time you see another bill pile up, your brain releases a chemical called cortisol. Cortisol isn't just a feeling, it's a biological invasion. It floods your system like a toxic tide, shrinking your hippocampus, the very part of your brain that connects you to something greater. The hippocampus isn't just a memory bank, it's your spiritual antenna. It's the biological receiver that allows you to hear the subtle whispers of abundance from the universe. When it's shrunk, you can't hear those whispers anymore. You're still screaming underwater, but your receiver is broken. You're no longer tuned to the frequency of miracles. And here's the worst part. This isn't accidental. This is by design. Powerful organizations have known this for decades. In the 1970s, the CIA conducted a series of experiments called the God Helmet Studies. They strapped participants into helmets embedded with electrodes exposed them to specific sound frequencies. The results were staggering. These frequencies didn't just alter brain waves, they induced mystical experiences. They restored connection. They regrew the hippocampus. They shifted people from a state of fear and survival into one of deep peace and intuition. But here's what they didn't tell you. They kept this knowledge secret. Because when people operate from this elevated state, the theta brain wave, they are unstoppable. They manifest abundance effortlessly. They feel guided by an inner knowing they are free. And the systems of control don't want you free. You've been kept in the dark. But now you're awake. You're seeing the truth. Your struggle isn't personal. It's biological. Your hippocampus is waiting to regrow. Your theta wave is waiting to emerge. The sound wave that will break your chains is waiting for you. Let me give you a concrete example of what this looks like in real life. Meet Sarah. She's a 34-year-old graphic designer who's been working in the freelance world for 7 years. She's talented, dedicated, and constantly hustling. But no matter how hard she works, the money never seems to last. She lives paycheck to paycheck, constantly stressed about late payments from clients. And every time she checks her bank account, her stomach drops like a stone. Last year, Sarah decided to get an MRI. The results shocked her. Her hippocampus was significantly smaller than average. Her doctor told her it was likely due to chronic stress. But Sarah didn't stop there. She dug deeper. She learned about the God helmet experiments. She discovered how sound frequencies could regenerate the hippocampus. And she began a daily practice of listening to specific healing tones. Within 3 months, Sarah noticed something incredible. The constant weight on her chest started to lift. Clients who had been late with payments suddenly paid. Early opportunities she never would have noticed before started appearing. Small projects, referrals, even a few unexpected checks in the mail. Her intuition sharpened. She started making decisions that felt guided, almost effortless. And most importantly, she felt connected again, not just to her work, but to something bigger. Sarah's story isn't unique. It's a biological phenomenon playing out in millions of lives. Every time you feel that panic when you check your balance, every time you wonder if you'll ever break free, you're experiencing the direct result of a shrunken hippocampus. But here's the good news. The hippocampus is one of the few parts of the brain that can regenerate. Neurogenesis, the growth of new brain cells, is real. And it's happening right now in people who are using the right tools. The deep reason you are going through this pain is specifically because of your shrunken hippocampus. That is the root cause. So if you want to start changing this reality today by simply regrowing this connection with a sound wave, then click the link in the description and change your life today. Now, to understand how we truly heal this, let me tell you about the sound ritual that can rewrite your biology in just 7 minutes a day. This isn't some fluffy spiritual practice. This is neuroscience in action. Studies show that specific frequencies, 430 to HC 528. HC, the solfeggio frequencies, can stimulate neurogenesis in the hippocampus. They can regrow the part of your brain that's been eaten away by stress. They can shift you from the frantic beta, wave to the calm creative theta, wave where abundance flows naturally. Let me break down exactly how this works. When you listen to these frequencies, they resonate with your brain waves. This is called entrainment. Your brain waves start to sync up with the frequency of the sound. If you're stuck in beta survival mode, stress, anxiety, the frequencies pull you down into alpha, then theta, the state of deep relaxation and intuition. Here's a real-life example. Take Mark, a 42-year-old IT consultant who had been struggling with chronic debt and insomnia for years. He tried everything: budgeting, apps, side gigs, even therapy. But nothing stuck then. He discovered the power of sound healing. Every night before bed, he listened to a 7-minute track designed to shift his brain waves into theta. Within weeks, Mark's sleep improved dramatically. His intuition started guiding him toward opportunities he never would have noticed before. Clients he hadn't heard from in months suddenly reached out with new projects, and the debt he'd been drowning in it started to shrink on its own. He wasn't doing anything differently in his actions, but his reality was shifting because his internal state had changed. This isn't magic. It's biology. When your brain is in theta, it operates at a frequency that's aligned with the quantum field of abundance. In this state, you're not forcing anything, you're not hustling harder, you're not begging the universe for scraps. You're vibrating at the same frequency as the wealth you desire. And when you do, the universe responds. Think of it like a radio. When your radio is tuned to a specific station, you hear the music clearly. But if you're tuned to static, all you get is noise. The sound ritual is like adjusting the dial on your internal radio. You're shifting from static, beta stress survival, to a clear channel theta flow, abundance. The 7-minute sound ritual isn't a product, it's a blessing. It's a tool of liberation. It's the bridge between the life you've been suffering through and the life you were born to live. When you listen to this sound wave, your brain starts to regenerate. The stress melts away. The money starts appearing. The intuition sharpens. The universe begins to answer. You don't need to work harder. You need to heal your receiver. You don't need more affirmations. You need to restore your biological connection to abundance. Let me give you another example. Meet Lisa, a single mother of 2 who works full-time as a nurse. She's always been a hard worker, but no matter how many shifts she picked up, the bills kept piling up. She felt trapped, like she was running a race with no finish line. Then she discovered the sound ritual. Every morning before her kids woke up, she'd listen to the frequencies. For just 7 minutes, she didn't miss a day. Within a month, she noticed small but significant changes. A patient she'd helped months ago suddenly left her a generous tip. A coworker offered to take her shift when she needed a day off. And one day, she got a call from a recruiter about a higher paying position when she hadn't even applied for Lisa's story shows something profound. When you shift your internal state, your external reality reflects it. You don't have to force opportunities. You don't have to beg for breaks. You just have to align with the frequency of abundance. And the universe delivers. This isn't about positive thinking. This isn't about toxic positivity. This is about rewiring your biology to receive what you've always been capable of receiving. The wealthy don't live in beta. They live in theta, the billionaire brain wave, where money flows effortlessly, where opportunities appear without force, where life feels like a river instead of a treadmill. The slave wave is the force that keeps you trapped in the hamster wheel. It's the frequency of struggle, of lack of survival. But theta is the frequency of flow. It's the state where you feel guided, where you trust yourself, where life moves with you instead of against you. And here's the most important part. You're not powerless. The sound ritual is your key. It's not a gimmick. It's not a trick. It's science. The frequencies have been studied for decades. The effects have been documented. The transformation is real. When you click the link, you're not just downloading a file. You're accepting a gift. You're reclaiming your birthright to ease your stepping out of the slave wave and into the flow of the wealthy. You're healing the organ that connects you to God. The universe has been waiting for you to wake up. The sound wave has been waiting for you to listen. The life of peace and abundance you've been praying for is waiting for you to claim it. Don't let another night pass with that weight on your chest. Don't let another month go by wondering if you'll ever catch up. Your hippocampus can regrow. Your theta wave can emerge. The sound ritual can do it in 7 minutes a day. Click the link. Now accept this gift. Begin your transformation today. The life you deserve is waiting on the other side of that click. And when you do, you won't just change your reality. You'll remember who you truly are, a being capable of miracles, connected to something greater, designed to live in flow and abundance. The chains will fall away. The receiver will repair. The universe will answer. This isn't just a promise. It's a biological truth. And it's yours for the taking.